Hello everyone, it's Drew Kuhlmann. I'm with eXp Realty. What I'm doing today is I'm kind of going over, I'm not kind of, I am going over all the real estate statistics for things that, such as the affected counts and what's taking place in the real estate market. I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live video here in about 45 minutes. So this is kind of my run through, just making certain everything's working. So I figured I'd make a video as I was doing a run through just to make certain I can do the screen share today. You can probably see it on your screen right now. And again, I'm getting my whole setup going right now. So just bear with me. It does look like I got the live video running on my phone. I'm probably going to get a little bit overloaded with the TV monitor, my laptop in front of me, which has my little ring light and webcam, and then my phone over here to show me what y'all are seeing. So, and if you have any comments, I should be notified if anyone's watching this. I would love for you to leave a comment right now just so I can make certain they're coming through. But what we're looking at really quick here is we got about 4 or 5 slides I'm going to be going through. And this is just actual data I'm pulling up from places such as USA Today, different news media from South Carolina, and the real estate stuff I'm pulling directly from what's called the MLS. That's the multiple listing service. And what I want to do is really see how much real estate, since that's my profession, how much is real estate being impacted and what storylines do we need to pay attention to the most? Okay, so what we got here is, okay, so it looks like, you're gonna have to bear with me. It doesn't look like my, okay, we have a little bit of lag. That's what's taking place. Okay, so I hate going over these numbers first, but might as well see where we truly stand. As far as the national and local statistics on the unemployment, in the past week, 5.25 million Americans have filed for unemployment or have received some kind of compensation for, receiving less income than they traditionally receive. In the past month, 22 million Americans. So these numbers are staggering. This is something that we have never seen anything like this before in this quick of a time frame. So we got to see how that is going to affect our economy. We obviously cannot fully know if this is going to be, I do not believe it can really be a V-shaped recovery, maybe a U-shape, but hopefully the country opens sooner rather than later so that we can really keep everybody moving forward. For this past week, 87,000 South Carolinians have gone on unemployment. And then the counties with the highest unemployment claims, Greenville is number 1 at over 10,000. Horry County was second. I'm not as familiar with that county. Spartanburg, Charleston, these are around the top 4 counties. Charleston has almost 7,000 people who have filed for unemployment claims. So now, again, I hate going through these, but it matters. It's seeing where are we standing to other areas of the country. The United States has over 640,000 cases, 31,000 deaths, almost 53,000 have recovered. So that's where we're going to start paying attention more to how many people are currently affected versus how many have recovered. And of course, they should be giving us how many people are in the hospital because that's a big deal. But that death rate is higher than I've been seeing. And unfortunately, it's probably because New York City has so many of the cases, 4.84 death rate. New York City, over 118,000 cases, over 8,000 deaths, 7.15% death rate. Now, the reason I included this slide, it's not this scare tactic. I hate seeing these numbers, but it's because I was surprised how South Carolina is doing. 3,656 cases, which of course we are a smaller state, so it's tough to really get a great comparison. And right now we are behind the curve as far as South Carolina, I think I have it on another slide, is supposed to peak around April 26th. So we are not out of the woods yet, but at 106 deaths, The death rate is 2.9%. And I've been hearing that there's plenty of spaces in the hospital, so we're hoping we don't get overwhelmed. And of course, the government's had longer to make adjustments, get medications, get ventilators, get testing kits. So I think we're going to come out better. But I just love seeing the fact that right now our death rate is so much lower than some of the other areas. And I know we're lower than Georgia. I was looking, and I should have used other states as well. But for the most part right now, you hate to say that's a good statistic, but right now, people are not dying as quickly in South Carolina as in other places of the country. So for that, we should be thankful. Now, home builder numbers. Okay. And boy, this is feeling like not the most uplifting of videos, but I think the last slide is going to give us a little bit better news. The Home Builder Confidence Index, that one dropped from 72. It usually goes from 0 to 100, 50 being a neutral number. So it goes from 72 to 30, which is just obviously a dramatic decrease. And of course, that's just an indicator. New builds and sales is really going to tell us what's taking place. But yeah, just some of the questions that I'm going to be paying attention to is I need to start paying attention to how many new builds are entering the ground for the new construction communities. I do believe this summer, when everything opens up, we're going to have a very strong summer. Maybe, we'll have the pent-up demand, and I guess strong needs to be defined, because even I don't fully know maybe what I'm seeing as strong. I think the houses that are going to be on the ground are going to sell, but I don't know if the sales stats are going to jump up because we didn't have the spring sales, or if it's going to be the same summer and we just lost all those numbers and it just pushed us back where spring was almost like zeroed out, and then those sales happened in the summer. Okay, and then of course the interesting thing, how is forbearance going to take hold? Because so many people are going through forbearance on their mortgage right now. The last video we did was talking about talk to your servicer, know what to ask, know what the ramifications are. But how many people have decided to refinance instead of sell their home and downsize, or sell their home and get a bigger home? Are there people out there who have started doing construction projects or are about to since they locked in a lower interest rate? That again is important because that's going to affect inventory levels. The reason I put Home Builder Confidence Index on here is because if they're not building new homes and they're just building them after they get a contract, which is we're probably going to have a slower build time now. So let's say that 6 months build time. Well, that's obviously going to affect the sales. Okay. Positive lead indicators. Okay, first of all, stimulus checks are coming. A lot of people have gotten them deposited. If you haven't gotten it yet, at least others are, so it's not a pipe dream, right? Our coronavirus is supposed to peak in April of the 26th of April, so a little over a week. Yep. So anyways, what that should mean is we should really start getting a lot more information and see when things are going to start opening up. As far as properties, I know this is a real estate video. I should have started this, right? 365 properties have closed since April 1st. So that's essentially 15 days. The 100 to 300,000 price range obviously has the bulk of that, 273 out of those 365. And then if you look in the 300 to 500,000 price range, 48 properties have sold. Since the beginning of this month, properties that were listed on April 1st or after, 575 of them have gone under contract. So what we are seeing here is things are still closing, things are still going under contract. And this final slide is just us seeing what the typical month average is and how we're faring. So again, November, December, January, February, some of the slowest months of the year. Right now, last November, 1,200 were listed, 1,000 sold. So, and this also shows us inventory levels. Was there a buildup in inventory? And for the most part, we haven't had a huge buildup except for in January. December, 933 listed, over 1,000 sold. January, almost 1,500 were listed, 800 were sold. February, 1,300 were listed, and of course I'm just rounding to a close 100. 900 were sold. Okay, now March, that is when we typically see houses go on the market, and we saw that again. 1,851 houses were listed, and March was a hot month before COVID-19 came. Even when we thought it was coming, but it hadn't arrived yet here in South Carolina, 1,169 were closed. And of course, the closings for this month were from the contracts of early March. This month, for the first half, 615 listed, 377 sold. So again, that is showing us we're not getting inventory buildup. If you multiply 615 times 2, that's 1,200. So that would be similar to the amount of listings that went on the market last November. More than went on the market December of last year. Now I know we're in the spring month, so you expect a lot more, but I guess what I'm saying here is things have not completely shut down for business. People who need to list their homes are still listing them and selling them. People who need to buy are still buying. But if coronavirus didn't happen right now, that 615 would probably be, I would be guessing about 1,000 by now, and then 2,500 maybe for the full month. So April's obviously being affected, but maybe not as much as we all would think. That's why I like looking at the numbers, is to really feel, okay, what's my mindset versus what is happening. So just reach out to me if you have questions. I'm going to cut this one down because I got the Facebook going on in 30 minutes. So go to Facebook. We're going to be doing a Facebook Live. I'm going to have a lender with me. He's going to be answering a lot of the financing questions, what's taking place. This is going to be an important video because things are changing quickly. So I want you to know about them as soon as possible. So again, go to my Facebook page, do a search for Drew Kuhlmann, add me as a friend, ask a question on the live stream. Hope you're doing well. You have a great day. And looks like everything's still streaming correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and end the share, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.